So, let's take a look at Fatesinger. First core, Glitter of Flame. You gain the magical training feat. Each core of this tree grants plus 25 spell points, plus 5 positive and sonic spell power, plus 5 universal spell power, plus 5 melee power, and plus 4 ranged power. Each core also grants a plus 1 epic bonus to all spell DCs. So basically, the same power and range pretty much everyone's getting, which is lower than Preview 1 because they're adding more power into each of the various each level. It's standard here. So the things that this one's getting different from most is the magical training, spell points, and the positive and sonic spell power, which makes sense for Bard ED. Glitter of Flame, second core. Enemies that strike you have a 5% chance of becoming fascinated for 12 seconds with no saving throw. It's useful as a defensive mechanism, I suppose. Glitter of Flame, +1 to all ability scores and saves. And apparently they need to change the name because those are all Glitter of Flame. Seen that before. Let's see. So Tier 1, Music of the Spider Queen. 3 ranks, you gain +10 universal spell power. You have Fascinate now gains the power to mesmerize vermin, and Bardic Inspiration now neutralizes poison. I think the difference between Mesmerize and Fascinate is that one, Mesmerize doesn't allow you to do the charm thing that you can do off of Fascinate. I think that's what's going on there. Jack of all trades, +3 to all skills. At the 3rd rank, you have the Inspire Bardic ability. It will now grant you additional +3 bonus to all skills. The song will grant +3 to all skills, so that would give it to other folks. That could be nice for some higher level rating if Intimidates are hard to reach. We'll come back to Epic Stripe. Harmonic Resonance, 2 points. Your weapon attacks and offensive spells have a 10% chance to build up a stack of Harmonic Resonance on your enemies. Those stacks increase vulnerability to sonic damage by 10% and reduces their AC by 5, can stack up to 3 times. So 30% extra sonic damage and 15 AC. Does it last? It doesn't say how long it lasts. Or how the stacks degrade. Does it, they all go away at once, or does it... These are important questions that need to be in the notes here. Root of the Weave. Echoes of Power now grants 3 more spell points per tick, and you gain 50 spell points. What does that get right now? 2 or 3? I think. That's okay. Let's see. Epic Strikes. What do we got here? Strike a chord. Blasts a single target with random note of music for 1d6 +1 sonic damage per character level, scaling with spell power. Benefits from meta magics. You gain a stack of Chords of Fate. Reduces the cost of all spells by 4%. Lasts 30 seconds. Stacks 3 times. Spell cost reduction by 12% if you're doing it a lot. Spell point cost 2. Cooldown 2 seconds. That's pretty good. Pluck of a String, 5 seconds, +3 W, +2 crit threat. Your ranged weapon sings through the air, causing 2d10. Wow, reading today. Sonic damage per character level that scales with 200% range power. Critical hits cause the target to be stunned for 2 seconds, no save. Gain a stack of Chords of Fate. Guessing they're all going to be giving that. Interesting to see how that plays with improved precise shot? Question marks. Maybe get the stacks up pretty quick. Sword Sings melee attack +3 W, +2 crit threat range or crit threat. Your weapon sings with the power of song. 2d10 sonic damage per character level. Critical hit stuns for 2 seconds, no save. Okay. Like the threat. Increases your threat range and has an effect on crits. That's kind of nice. Your 2 Great Ballads of War, 3 ranks. +3 to hit and damage. If you have the Bardic Ballad feat, this also applies to your ballad's bonus to others. Giving everyone +3 to hit and damage. Okay. Mantle of Sound and Fury. Okay, here's your mantle. All your attacks and spells have a chance to cause a swirl of musical notes to surround you, causing 1d6 sonic damage per character to all nearby foes. Scales with sonic or assuming this is supposed to be scales with the highest of sonic spell power or 200% of melee or range power. This damage does not affect fascinated targets. When this occurs, you gain 6 temporary hit points per character level. So what would that be? 180 hit points? Okay. Can only occur once every 10 seconds. I'm a little underwhelmed by that. I am not a melee bard. Don't think I want this so far. Discord, bunch of options. So you have a ranged attack, +3W, +2 threat crit range. Why is that text formatted differently? In a different order? Consumes all Chords of Fate. Your shot strikes its first target, releasing the power of Discord in an area around the target. Applies stun for 2 + 2 seconds per chord consumed. Alright. Save is 20 plus highest of Charisma, Dexterity, Intelligence modifiers plus Evocation. Interesting. I understand why those are the 3 stats, but that's kind of an interesting grouping of stats. Let's see. This is Blade of Discord is a cleave, same thing, but just a melee attack. Well, it cleaves. The other one is just a range attack. Presumably, you can use improved precise shot, get the same kind of thing. Echoes of Discord send a blast of sonic damage in a cone in front of you for 1d4 damage per character level. Scales with 100% with sonic spell power. The effect repeats once every second for each Chord of Fate consumed. Each echo beyond the first will increase the damage die by 1. Attempts to stun the target for 2 seconds each pulse. This one is DC 20 plus highest of stat mod. I'm not sure why the other ones aren't. That's a little weird. Okay, so Chords of Fate, which you build off of your strikes, can stack up to 3 times. So it looks like they said this in release notes too. I think that they're inputting a small builder spender mechanic in here, which is, I think, fine. I think this is kind of the way that you do that, and you make that work in a way that isn't annoying to use or like this main feature of the system, right? Okay. Grandeur, your friendly spells now apply a lingering buff that grants +3 AC and PRR. Stacks twice for 10 seconds for 2 APs. Lousy. +6 AC, +6 PRR for 10 seconds. That's not going to do a whole lot, really. My words are not yours. 2 points, -1 to all mathematic costs. Probably pretty reasonable. Grants the Bardic Inspiration Courage feat if you do not already have it. +3 Bard songs and 1 spell penetration. 2 points for that. Yeah, I don't know if that should be worth 2 points. Points are hard to come by, folks. We don't need to make them all super expensive. Alright. The Sonata to Serve. +3 spell penetration, and at the 3rd rank, if you're actively using the Mantle of Sound and Fury, you're now immune to arcane spell failure. I mean, that could be... I'm less high on the spell penetration, but I'm sure some folks could have a lot of fun with the now immune to arcane spell failure. I mean, you can use this as kind of a melee tree. You were saying Eldritch Knight or a caster or a sorcerer or something like that. You can go either way, but if wear whatever armor you want without Arcane Spell Failure. That's pretty powerful. Although you do have to be in the Mantle here, so. Rhythm Terrain. You generate 35% less threat when dealing damage and also gain plus 15 positive spell power. Okay, like that. On that note, no rain damage boost in here anymore. Lame. Alright. Alright, Magic of Music, so you can choose Abjuration, Enchantment, Evocation, and Illusion. And it looks like that just spend some points to make sure. But I'm sure this is just going to be 3 steps, enchantment. Yeah, so plus 3 DCs to one of those schools. Master the Acoustics. 3 ranks gain 15 sonic spell power. When you cast the spells Sonic Blast and Reverberate, the damage is increased by 50% at the upper level. Interesting. Take a moment to consult the notes that they gave. I did read through before going through these, but yeah, so the note says 100%. This release notes say 100%. This says 50%. So interesting to see which one they pick. Let's see. Tier 4, Masquerade reduces the cost of your spells by 10% at Tier 3. There's a lot of reduced spell point costs in these trees. Majesty, you're immune to Charisma stat damage. When you play any bardic song while using the Mantle of Sound and Fury, you heal yourself and all nearby allies for 1d2 hit points per character level, and apply the Restoration spell. Scales with spell power. I think probably something tells me that the positive healing there is going to be less. I mean, look, here's the problem with using songs for healing. Like, if you're using the songs here for healing, it's just such a long cast to get hit points. Now, if you're... you don't have to cast songs on people anywhere near as much, so... I mean, maybe if you're using a Fascinate, that might be handy, but... I don't think the healing here is going to be super great. Not going to be something that's going to be useful or game-breaking, or, like, here's a fancy new heal or anything like that. Okay... Arcane Resonance. Okay, so this is your this is the replacement for the hymns that we have now. Arcane Resonance, 1 to Intelligence, Charisma, and Wisdom. When using your Mantle, you gain plus 10 spell power, universal power, plus 2 spell penetration, plus 4 UMD, 10% to your fire, cold, acid, and electric absorption. There's another thing that's kind of cropping up a lot in these trees. So you're not going to be able to cast these on other people, only yourself. That's kind of a bummer. I liked that aspect of them. So Divine Resonance, Strength, Charisma, and Wisdom. With your Mantle, plus 1 to hit, damage, and to confirm critical hits. Plus 5 PRR, and plus 15 positive and negative spell power. Okay. Martial, Strength, Dexterity, Constitution. Mantle gets plus 5 PRR, MRR, 5 armor class, and 10 melee and ranged power. And Primal, plus 1 to Strength, Constitution, and Wisdom. Oh. I wonder if that should be Strength, Dex, and Wisdom just because of Shirati, but... when using the Mantle, plus 25 hit points, plus 10 spell resistance, plus 10 healing amp, and additional plus 3 strength while raging. Yeah, okay. I mean, you lose the ability to cast them on others, which I think was really... If you can't cast these on others, are they really worth a tier 4? Maybe? I feel like the thing that was useful, that made them higher tier before was that you could throw them on other people, but then again, some of these lower tiers are pretty lackluster too, so... Shout it out! Yeah. Greatest Shout, you may cast the spell Greater Shout as a spell-like ability with an increased DC. So 2 costs, 6 points to cost, 6 seconds. 1d6 plus 3 sonic damage per caster level, up to 20. Stuns targets in the path. 20 plus stat mod plus evocation. That's not normal. Very, very vocal. When you cast Shout, and its damage is increased by 50%. When you cast Greater Shout or Horn of Thunder, the damage is doubled. Why is Shout only increased by 50% and Greater Shout is doubled? Isn't Shout a lower level spell? Must be like a caster level thing. Meta Magic Attunement, so you can get Enlarge, Issue, or Extend for free. So there's no spell point cost increase. You just get them for free. That's kind of neat. Cut the strings. Strike a note to reveal the chords of fate so you might cut them. All monsters within a wide radius around you are forced to dance. 20 plus stat mod plus enchantment. Pulled by the strings of fate for 10 seconds. In addition, for 10 seconds, your character gains the ability to cut their strings with any weapon, strike, or spell at the rate of once per second, instantly killing them. So you're telling me if I'm Johnny on the spot, if I cast this into a group, and I'm Johnny on the spot and hit one each second, I can just start killing things. Okay, that's seems pretty powerful. Again, like tier 5, but this is worth 1 point. And what was the thing that was down here that was worth 2 points? That was, yeah, here you go. So 2 points to get Bardic Inspiration, and +3 Bard Songs and +1 Spell Pen. And here's a potential like kill a bunch of stuff for 1 point, albeit at a higher cost. Bosses, if they fail their save, do not dance, will take an additional 300 sonic damage that scales with spell power when struck for the duration of the effect. Struck by anybody or struck by you? They said struck by you in the notes. Yeah, the notes it says attacked by you. So. Turn the tide. Okay, here's your epic moment. The trumpets call the rally for 20 seconds. You and your party gain full attack bonus, plus 10% to weapon damage, plus 10% uncapped dodge, 100 universal spell power, and minus 40 to spell point cost. Okay, so here this is fun because it applies to everybody. I like that. That's kind of a fun little twist on it. I wonder if the 10% weapon damage will stack with Crusader. As I say that, let me just double check that that's still a thing in the tree. Yeah, plus 10% damage. Still there, so question, does that apply? But plus 10% weapon damage for everyone in your party for 20 seconds. Hoorah! So Fatesinger is going to be a popular. They're actually doing a pretty good job of making, upping the calculus of how you're going to build a party with epic destinies with some of these epic moments. Let's see, Blade Song, +1 critical hit on 19 or 20 when using single weapon, dual wielding weapons, or using a weapon in a shield. But not ranged weapons. Does single weapon apply to thrown weapons? Question mark. That's kind of a swashbuckly thing that you can do thrown weapons. So, okay, +3 to DCs. We've seen that a bunch. Out of the Ages, you benefit from additional +1 to all spell DCs, +1 to tactical feat DCs, and the True Seeing spell. If you have Bardic Ballad, it adds Inspired Transcendence, which gives all of that. So you can give everyone in your party +1 to spell DCs, +1 to tactical DCs, and True Seeing with your Ballad. So that's okay. Pretty decent, I think.